guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Kat. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. I have a message for fellow military spouses. I am a military spouse. I have been for a little bit over 6 years now, and it's time. So this is something that has been going on the entire time that I have been that I have been a military spouse. So a little story time, my husband and I, we both went to the same university. We were together before that, high school. As soon as I was finished, we went directly to our first duty station and lived on post, and have been to a couple other ones since, and recently had a move to another duty station. And this has been something that has gone on the entire time that I've been a part of the community. So in the military, as a military family, we move around pretty frequently. Sometimes we're in one place for longer than other times, but overall, the community is very much open to building new relationships really fast. We are really good at making new friends. That's something that I love about the military community. Other military wives, we're like, do you want to be friends? And yeah, we make friends really easily, at least in my experience. I am very open to making new friends. I love meeting new friends. And so that's been something that I have seen other military spouses do. Not all of them, of course. There's always going to be outliers. So with that, there's a lot of Facebook groups and communities, social media wise. Usually this is all different kind of branches of military. And in those groups, so often you have people just wanting to get some information on how to eat healthier, kind of what everybody else is doing, like diet wise, asking if anybody can help them with weight loss or some kind of medical nutrition therapy need that they really shouldn't be asking in a Facebook group. But overall, they will ask these questions. And some of the advice can be good, they can be pretty general, they can be overall pretty helpful. However, most of the advice that I have seen, the amount of, what's the best word I want to use for it? Dangerous, scary, is really harmful, it's infuriating, it's just not necessary. You'll have these people who maybe they have their own experience. This worked for me, so this is how you should do it. Just cut your calories down to 500 or 800 calories a day and you'll be fine. Or stop eating at 6 p.m. or whatever they want to say. Or only eat one meal a day. I have seen this. If you hear some strange noise in the background, my dog is chewing on his little toy bone. However, the vast majority of responses that I have seen have been ones related to MLM diets. I have met so many Beachbody coaches within the military spouse community, met so many with Arbonne, with It Works, with Isogenics, all of them. And as a registered dietitian, I'm like sideways in this. I just realized this, I'm like kind of off center, sorry. So as a legitimate health professional, as a licensed and registered dietitian, I feel like I can talk about this and really encourage some other fellow military spouses, military wives, maybe wanting to have a change in their nutrition plan, maybe wanting to feel a little bit better. Do not do this. So I wanted to give you some free resources that are not affiliated with me at all. I don't get any pay or kickback from. They're legitimately free. So stay tuned. So whenever somebody wants to sign up to be a consultant or a coach for any of these kind of direct selling, multi-level marketing programs, usually they only have to have two requirements in order to join. They have to be 18 or older and they have to pay a fee. That's it. There's no requirement that makes it to where they have to have any kind of certification, any kind of educational requirements, any kind of licensure. These are just people who are paying to be a coach. And they might be a certified personal trainer, they might be a dietitian or anything of the nature, even a doctor. However, you don't have to be in order to be one of those consultants or one of those coaches. And so a lot of times they're just not going to have the training and experience working with people, and that's really not a good thing. Like, just an example, for me, I had to get a degree. I had to do a full year of a supervised practice, that residency portion. That's where I was able to apply all of the things that we learned in school to actual practice in the real world and have that person watching over me. Then there was the exam, and then there's continuing education. So when you're seeing someone like a registered dietitian, you know that they have not only the knowledge but also the experience behind them. And you can get a lot of benefit from not seeing a dietitian too, from seeing someone other kind of nutrition professional. However, it is important to know what the background is, especially when you're trying to figure out what's the best fit for you. I'm not going to be the best dietitian for certain people, and I have turned away many people. I didn't care about working with them if I knew that they would be better off working with another person. Kind of getting back to this. So when you are wanting to change your nutrition, when you're wanting to go on a diet or whatever you want to call it, it's not just about eat this, don't eat that. You might think that you want just this, tell me what to eat, when to eat, and then everything will be good. In reality, for a lot of people, that can last pretty well for a couple weeks, couple months even at the long end. But that's not really what the issue is. That's not really what's gonna help you long term. And so a lot of times with these kind of coaches or consultants or distributors, it's not so much that the education is limited, well, that too, but it's just there's a lot of other things underlying when you want to change your nutrition, when you want to approach a healthier lifestyle. Just having a plan that says do this, don't eat that, that's not going to uncover some of those longer term issues that have been going on or potentially will start going on. A lot of times when people are on a restrictive plan, even if they're not fully like restricted in calorie wise, but just overall in the amount of variety that they're getting, that can trigger something to promote a kind of binge almost. And so a lot of people kind of lose their overall empowerment around food and kind of lose track of their inner hunger cues, their fullness cues, and just kind of slowly shift that power away and give that power to food over them by following all of these plans and all of these rules. And a lot of times that can lead to this cycle of restricting and then binging and then feeling bad, crappy about yourself, and then restricting again and then binging more, and just this overall yo-yo dieting cycle, this cycle that really doesn't empower you around food and really harms that healthy relationship with food and healthy relationship with your body. And within these programs, a lot of times people think that they are going to it and they're going to get this like personal plan, this plan that's really going to work for them. Now let's say this person is wanting to change their nutrition because they're having a lot of food sensitivities. Maybe they have some other concerns more on the medical nutrition therapy side. Unfortunately, these consultants or coaches, they can't help with that personal side because that is something that turns into medical nutrition therapy. That's where you have those personal plans, that's where you have those protocols. Now, medical nutrition therapy is a kind of therapy that registered dietitians are trained in. When I first became a dietitian, I was working in a clinical hospital and I actually was doing that. And so I worked with a lot of people who had diabetes, renal disease, there are a lot of oncology patients, liver failure patients, heart disease. I did a lot of tube feeding calculations, TPN, where it goes directly to the veins, supplement orders, all of that stuff. And so it's just like on this spectrum, and you have like medical nutrition therapies on the chronic side, also on the acute side. And then you kind of have the ones where it's kind of teetering, where it's more on like, it's not full on IBS, but food sensitivities, where you really should be seeking the help of somebody who is qualified to help you with that. And what I have found is that a lot of the people in these groups, they tend to kind of be on that edge where they could really they could really benefit from some kind of medical nutrition therapy, something that can definitely be approached by a really good personal plan and those specific protocols for that person. And within these programs, you are not gonna get that. And I know that you're not gonna get that because it's illegal. Licensure is a real thing, and it's for the protection of the public. Now, licensure is different from state to state. I collect licensure from multiple different states. So whenever somebody reaches out for me who is in a state that I currently don't have licensure, I will go ahead and reach out and get that. And sometimes it can be like $60. I think some of the cheaper ones are, all the way up to like in the mid $100 kind of range. And that's fine. I don't charge the client for that just because that is growing my overall like reach. So I wanted to mention that because that is something that I would be concerned over with these programs if they are trying to give you that personal advice, because I'm getting that licensure. Even sometimes I don't really need it if I'm not doing that like medical nutrition therapy side, but I want to cover my butt, and I'm just kind of scared for people who are doing that kind of thing who aren't getting that licensure. And by all means, you can have a lot of benefit. You can get a lot of benefit from having this person be like a cheerleader, an accountability partner, a just overall kind of motivational thing. But my question is, what do you want to spend your money on? Do you want to spend your money on this kind of generalized program where you're using these containers to kind of create your meals? And there's no like right or wrong way to answer that. You can definitely do that and you spend the money on those shakes and all of those things. But as a whole, whenever somebody is wanting to change their nutrition approach, it is so much more than just getting this plan, this generalized plan. It's really about making those actions that are going to turn into practices that are going to build skills to help you your whole life, like to help you long term, to knowing like how to pair food together, how to eat in a way that really helps support your health. And I always bring it back to that definition of health: complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So if you're doing something that's healthy for like your physical side, but it's harming your mental side, it's not really healthy. And a lot of times when I see these kind of plans or these rules, all of these different rules, they might for some people be, and some of them they're gonna harm their physical side, but for some, maybe they have some good experience with that really helped them on that physical level, but how was it helping them overall long-term with their mental health and their relationship with food? That's really where my concerns kind of come in. And so you might be asking like, well, what do I do? Maybe you don't really have the funds to work with a nutrition coach, a registered dietitian, or anything of the sort. Somebody who overall just is qualified to do what they are doing and also legally doing it. So if you are a military spouse, if you live near the base or post or on it, there's usually something called like the wellness center, and you can see a registered dietitian. Most of them have dietitians on staff that you can see. The concern is that sometimes there's not so much that follow-up and there's not really that coaching side. Like they can help to give you this plan up front, but that coaching side is really not going to be there so much. But that is a place that you can start for free and that you can get a whole workup of everything. Now, if you have any kind of medical needs, you can actually ask your doctor for a referral. And this is people like non-military related. You can ask your doctor for a referral to see a dietitian. Now, I don't take insurance. That's something that I don't want to do. Just with moving around every so often and the amount of paperwork and all of that, I'm not going to do it. But I do have a network of amazing dietitians and nutrition coaches who are able to really work on that behavior side and also take insurance. So if you want any information, definitely reach out to me and I can help steer you in the right direction. But I really just wanted to make this video because the amount of times that I've seen unhelpful advice, and not just unhelpful but harmful, is just, it's growing. It's something that I constantly see whenever I'm in these groups. And I will also put a link for a direct directory. So I practice virtual nutrition coaching. However, a lot of people want to go to somebody in person. And so I will leave a link down below where you can put in actually your zip code and you can find dietitians in your area. And it'll tell you if they do take insurance or if they don't take insurance, if they practice virtually or not. You can find people who really specialize in the area that you want to work with, and you can find different ones who charge different amounts too. So that is always a great resource as well. And so if you have any questions or if you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. Leave them down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you later. All right.